Welcome to Sprawl and Brawl. It is episode number 66. Let's just pretend there's another 6 behind there. 66! Just pretend I said another 6 in front of there. Welcome! We're going to talk about MMA and UFC and everything else fighting that happened this week. Maybe some boxing happened this weekend. I don't know. Who knows? Who can say? Maybe there was just a lot of people that bought it and a lot of people that paid $30 million around that price to get into that arena in total. That's what I heard maybe last week. Man, it's a crazy amount. Think about that soon. It's Thursday, September 21st, 2017. We're here every Thursday. You can check us out on megasearcher.com. All the VODs and MP3s are available there if you want to check that out. But if you're interested in audio podcasts, we are also available on Apple Podcasts and Podcast Addict, which is what I'm using now on Android, or wherever else you want to get a podcast, because a good podcast app will use the iTunes feed. Trust me, you will be able to find anything on iTunes on anything else. And if you can't, fuck that app. Delete it right now. I think it's maybe Podcast One. I have no idea. Maybe I should try Podcast One just for the fuck of it and then delete it to see if you can add your own podcast in there or if it's just Podcast One apps. Podcast One podcasts. Because if it's just Podcast One podcasts, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. All right. So that's the deets if you want to do it not live. But what if you want to watch us live? You can do it on YouTube. You can do it on Twitch. You can do it on Mixer. It's all Mega Scorcher TV. So go like and subscribe, follow us, whatever it is on those websites that they do. All right. Let's just jump into some MMA results here. We got a pretty good amount. Oh, that's right. Steiner's not here this week. That's just my Skype there. Let's get rid of that. And I'm going to do what I did last week. Again, amateur hour here. I should have done this before the show. But I guess I didn't save it last week. So here you go. Amateur hour. Okay. So I'm going to do that. There you go. To just get the cage in there. I'm in the cage with no muscles. Oh, I'm going to kill whoever has less muscles than me, I swear. All right. So the MMA results for this week. I watched Combate Americas, or Americas, whatever the hell they want to call it in Spanish land. I watched that Friday night. It was on Fight Network. Did anything stand out to me? Honestly, no. I'm trying to look at this card. But here's the thing. Nothing stood out to me. The ONE FC, or the ONE Championship, as they're called now, total victory from Asia. What I did see of it was fucking insane. Dude just walked into a punch and just got destroyed. The one fight I watched. That was pretty awesome. Let me go actually watch the card to see if I can remember who that actually was. Oh yeah, it was Alan Ngalani versus Hideki Sekeni, and that was in the first round. It lasted 11 seconds. It's fucking insane. It was awesome. That was pretty much a standout of the fight, of the whole card, I should say. But the whole card was fucking amazing. It was goddamn this weekend. If you were into fights, even the Combate America fight was great. It's just I kind of forgot it over time because everything was after that was great. It was just so amazing. Saturday night was such an awesome, or Saturday the whole day. If you're a fight fan, badass. It was amazing. You can't say anything bad about it. ONE FC in Asia. I think it was in Malaysia. Yes, it was in Jakarta. Jakarta, Malaysia. Or is that what it was? Shit, I forget. It was Indonesia. Damn. I knew it ended with Asia. I knew it. But that whole card was amazing. If you can somehow find a copy of that, if you have Fight Network, or Bell, I think Bell has. Hopefully you recorded it. I don't know how you can get that in VOD form. I'll let you figure that out. Jesus. UFC Fight Night. Rockhold versus Branch on Saturday. So fucking Saturday night, worked out amazingly for me. So I went to a wedding. So 1FC was in the morning. I think it started at 9. I watched about 2 hours of it, and then I had to go to a wedding that was about 5 hours away from Ottawa in Verner. So then I went over there, and the wedding started at 6, and by the time I think the wedding was done at like 6:45ish. It's pretty short. It was nice. Nothing like, it was outdoors. It was nice. It wasn't super serious. It wasn't I like every wedding I've been to in my life has been in a church, and now, hey, and this one it wasn't. That was cool. Oh no. Yep. It's always been in church. I've been to weddings where events were outside, but I've never been to a wedding that was actually outside. And now I've been to, and yeah, it was nice. And then, but after that, so I had a little ploy. So I have this like a little Wi-Fi booster that I used to use. I don't need it here. It's pretty small place, but I used to use this Wi-Fi booster, and I brought it to his place because it wasn't his place. I forget whose place it was, but anyways, so I went there, and I just asked, hey, can I plug this in and plug it to your Wi-Fi? And I was like, here, just take this Bluetooth speaker, and then you can have your music wherever the hell you want it. And then she was like, oh, that's awesome, thanks. But it was all a ploy for me to have the Wi-Fi wherever I wanted it. So I was parked pretty far away, and I made sure to put the Wi-Fi booster upstairs. The router was downstairs, but that doesn't matter. It reached upstairs really easy. It was like directly upstairs, and I plugged that shit near a window where it would just get the maximum. Anyways, so man, it worked out awesome. I had Wi-Fi on outside, so I guess I went back into the car around 11. I guess it was 11. I went when people were starting to tweet that Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin was fighting. So I went a little bit before that, I want to say, and I watched a little bit of UFC before. The UFC was amazing. I watched it after the fact. And holy shit, that was some dope ass UFC going on Saturday night. It also did very good in terms of viewership in the US. It did 872,000 in the US, and the main event topped out at 1.118 million. That's pretty fucking good for a UFC right now, especially when there was a boxing fight going on, the magnitude it was. Anyway, so I watched Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez, and funny enough, the husband now, or whatever, the groom to be. No, it's not the groom to be, because he was the groom. I guess it's the groom. Let's just the guy who got married. All right, so he came into the van for a little bit too. So did a few other people, and I'm so glad I got this phone now, because if I would have had my little tiny iPhone 5, that's a tiny screen. So I kind of like there's like a little spot on a caravan that I finagled it to like put it on top. Anyway, so I put this little phone on top there, and I was playing I was playing it on my phone from my computer to my phone in Verner. So that worked pretty nice. I watched the whole fight. It's goddamn amazing. One of the best boxing fights I've seen live in my whole life. This fight was there was no KOs, no knockdowns, no nothing. But Gennady, man, he just kept up the pace, and he was pushing. Canelo was on the ropes for, I would say, fucking like 60% of the fight. It seemed that way anyways. He was up against the ropes for a significant amount of the fight. And really, that's how I would describe this fight is Gennady did a supreme job of pushing Canelo to the outside and landing shots while doing that. and Canelo didn't really have an answer for him until way later in the fight. Canelo did better in the initial rounds, but it's not like he was really doing that much damage to Gennady. He was doing way more damage in the 11th and 12th, but it was weird because you could tell he was super tired. He was getting tired around like maybe the 7th or 8th round. You could tell that Canelo was slowing down, but fucking props to him for fucking being able to light up near the end of the fucking fight like that, because I would probably give the last 2 rounds to Canelo for sure, and I would say probably like the first 2 or 3 was Canelo as well. So it was really clear to me that Gennady won. No matter how many rounds you want to give to Canelo, there's so many rounds that Canelo did absolutely nothing, and Golovkin was just pushing him back right into the ropes. He was in the ropes for fucking almost all the fight. So let's talk about the decision, I guess. If you want to ever call in at any time, right there, just do it. Anytime you want to. Skype, Mega Scorcher, do it. Call in. So, anyways, the decision went, I think it was like 115 to whatever, 114 to 116, I think. One judge gave it to Gennady, and then one was like 115 or 114, whatever the hell it is, tie. And then the middle one, though, like the draw is dumb. The draw is wrong. But at least the draw could go like, I guess you could, because at the max, I would say 5 for Canelo. At the max, it's 5. If somebody wants to say 6, I would be like, you're fucking wrong. But that's all right. But then one judge gave it 118 to like 110 for fucking Canelo. That's fucking ridiculous. And she's a pretty well known to be a shitty judge. Adelaide Bird. She's a shitty UFC judge too. Hey, her husband, pretty alright boxing ref. He refed the Mayweather and McGregor fight. He was the one that refed that fight. So, man, she's just so incompetent. And then I watched Tough yesterday, episode number 4. I actually thought it was the same episode as last week, which I thought was weird because the girls kind of had similar names, but no, it was not the same episode. But the girl that I thought won watching the episode did win. Guess who didn't win? The druggie with the daddy issues. Like, look, I get it. Or actually, I don't. I bet losing your dad is terrible, especially at a young age. But I don't know if the best road to get into the UFC is to, sulk about your dad and your drug issues. Hey, I bet she's over that. And if she is, that's fucking awesome. Especially the drug issues. You can be sad about your dad. I'm not going to be mad about that. But it's just, here's the thing about Tough this season. I just can't get into it. It's mostly sob stories or like triumph stories, like, yeah, I did so good. Last season was so interesting and different because it was just all guys that were there before and they were just shooting shit. And I like drama. It's a fucking reality show, okay? Let's throw some fucking drama in there. So that's Tough this week. I didn't really watch it. The fight went to decision. I think that's the first fight this season that went to decision. So I probably didn't miss too much. What's her name? Montana. Is her last name? She won. I want to say I'm right, but I could be wrong. The one that has the longer hair, I guess. No? The one that wasn't the druggie there. The one that didn't do crack is the one who won. All right, let's go on to the news of the week for MMA and UFC here. Carlos Condit tweeted Sean Shelby that he wants to fight in December or January. That's about time, Carlos. Where were you, man? So ring rust, I bet it doesn't affect people, but Carlos didn't look too great in his last fight against whoever the hell that was. And I don't know what to make about Carlos Condit yet, to be honest with you. We'll see. I love Carlos Condit. Don't get me wrong. I was a big fan, a really big fan. I loved watching his fights. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what GSP does, too. I hope GSP fucking destroys Bisping. Not that has anything to do with Carlos, but it kind of does. It's like an older generation dude coming back that hasn't been fighting for a long time. Like, here, I'm just going to look up his last fight now because I don't remember when it was, but it seemed like it was ages ago. It must be at least 2 years, right? That he fought last. Damian Maia in 2016, August. So it's only been a year. Seems like way longer than that. But by the time he fights in December, I guess it's going to a year and a half. I guess it's not super terrible. Edmund Tarverdyan, he is still a jackass, if you don't know. He was on the MMA Hour this week, and he was suggesting that Ronda should fight Cyborg. He sounds super depressed on the phone, too, so I don't know about where he's going and where his head is at, but he did not sound very happy about anything. So, he talks like this, and I just gotta focus on the career. I don't know why my voice. I like to my voice squeak sometime because that's just my regular voice. I didn't mean to do that, but he did not. He was just very like this, Ronda. I just didn't want to get into it with her mom. I respect Ronda and her mom, and she could talk. That's in the past. Listen to that thing. Edmund sounded. He does not sound well right now, and I think he's a shithead for entirely different reasons than his personal life, to be honest, because I don't really know anything about him except that I think he takes advantage of people, especially Ronda. As much as I don't like Ronda, I 100% fucking think that Edmund was not the guy for her ever, and he was a total dick to her from the start. So, and I get wanting to face adversity and wanting to triumph over it, but like with Edmund, like there's better fucking gyms. Anyways, disappointing. I liked Ronda in Strikeforce, but then I found out that she was kind of not cool. Anyways, Sage Northcutt versus Michael Quinones is going to be added to UFC Norfolk. That's November 11th. And they also added Rafael Assunção versus Matthew Lopez. Those two fights are really all right, I think. Well, especially Assunção and Lopez. Northcutt and Quinones is whatever. Quinones might actually fucking win. He might actually fucking win. Which are cool, because I'm not a big Sage Northcutt dude. And also Matt Brown. He's fighting Diego Sanchez. We already knew that. But he announced Matt Brown. That's my name, Matt. Why am I mispronouncing that fucking name? What's going on? Matt Brown announced that this fight will be his last. So he's retiring no matter what. I would say, what if he gets like the knockout of the night or something? And then like gets the next title shot, but that's not going to happen. It's only Diego Sanchez. So the anticipated welterweight showdown between Bellator champion Douglas Lima and Rory McDonald is going to go down January 20th, at Inglewood's Forum. That's all right. That's in California. Inglewood, if you don't know. And that's all right. I'm into that. Lima's probably going to get destroyed, which awesome. I'm into McDonald. Go! Don't pick your nose now, or don't. Oh no, I'm picking your nose, Rory. Weird. I never thought about doing that before, right? But there he is. It's McDonald. I'm all in on McDonald. I hope he does super awesome in Bellator and just destroys Bellator, but at the same time, just builds up Bellator, and then he can come back to the UFC after he's made Bellator bike. Nick Ronick. He got popped by USADA a while ago. We talked about it. He got flagged after the Tough 25 finale. He lost to Jared Cannonier. He's going to be facing, or accepted rather, a 1-year suspension. So there you go. That's done. He tested positive for clomifene. Clomifene. Yeah. UFC Sao Paulo got a lot of fights out of this week. Some good ones too. John Lineker versus Marlon Vera, and Jim Miller versus Francisco Trinaldo. That's some good fights there. 2 good fights. I'm into it. Get those Brazilians in there and get, a white American or, whatever else you want to get in there to destroy the Brazilians. Because I like seeing Brazilians lose. I don't know why. It's just, it's their reaction. They take it so serious. It's like, our Brazilian dude lost. I might have to shoot this dude. He won. I might have to stab him. I would never take anything that fucking serious. Never. Here's the thing. I see people with tattoos all the time. And I've never taken anything that serious in my whole life that I'm going to fucking put it on my skin, or under my skin rather, for my whole life. I look at this t-shirt. I love it. I love the turtles. This t-shirt is very funny to me. It's just turtles with bandanas, colored for the TMNT. But they're regular turtles, and then the last turtle is Mikey, because you could tell because the colors, there's missing the orange one. And he's dressed as a ninja, and he says, "What?" to the other turtles. It's cute. But I'm never going to put that on my skin, As much as I love TMNT, I love it. It's one of the very few things that I go super nostalgic about. A lot of people, except music. I'll go super nostalgic for music and Mega Man. But like in terms of like TV shows and stuff, I mean, if somebody puts on Saved by the Bell, I'm not going to go like, oh, Saved by the Bell. And I'll watch it, but it's not my preferred viewing choice. I watch old TMNT here and there, but not a super amount. I just don't get how people get that excited about one thing. Anyways, that was a tangent and off topic there for a little bit. Whoo! Alima McFarlane versus Amélie Ducote is going to be at Bellator, and they're going to be fighting for their women's flyweight title on November 3rd. The first one, indeed, actually. The first champion crowned is going to be one of these 2 ladies. So that's cool. The Bellator getting out in front of the UFC. Oh, man, my squeaky chair. I gotta fix that somehow. Anyways, they're getting out ahead of the UFC with the flyweight women's champion there. They're gonna crown theirs before the UFC does. Dun dun dun. And one champion announced also here that they're gonna have a champion versus champion super fight between lightweight champion Edward Folayang, he is going to be putting his belt on the line against featherweight champion Martin Gwynn in Manila, November 10th. That's lining up to be a pretty good weekend of fights, if you ask me, because that Norfolk card looks really good from the UFC. Bob Bennett said that the NAC's decision has not been made yet on Adelaide Bird being removed from UFC 216 because she was on that card, but I think she's being removed from cards now. She is temporarily suspended 2 days ago. So I guess she's not going to be judging UFC 216 now. Cool. Good job. It only took 10 years. And our last news item here for the week, Mizuto Hirota, he missed weight for his fight tomorrow in UFC Fight Night 117 in Japan at the Super Saitama Arena, or the Saitama Super Arena, I should say. Those fights are happening tomorrow, and he missed weight 150, I think, and the weight class is 145? Yeah, I think that's what it is. All right. Let's go up to upcoming events here. We got LFA 23 tomorrow, Friday night, at the same time as the UFC in Japan. So that kind of sucks. Probably not going to watch LFA tomorrow. That's for sure. The Japan card is not super stacked at either. So it's not like I'm like, oh my God, this UFC is super stacked. There's no way I can miss this LFA. Or, sorry, there's no way I can miss this UFC in favor of LFA. But, whoops. Let me look. Let me. There you go. Okay. I got this super slowly. Man, what the hell? Oh, it's St. Poo versus Okami. That's right. Okami is like a last second replacement. That's cool though. I would find it very funny if Okami won. That'd be very funny. Gokhan Saki is making his UFC debut against Da Silva. Takanori Gomi is fighting Kim. Claudia Gadelia is fighting Jessica Andrade. My homeboy Teruto Ishihara is fighting some dude called Dai. I don't know who that guy is. Yeah. This is all on FXX if you're in the US and TSN 5, I believe. And there's only one fight on Fight Pass at 7:30 p.m. if you're into that. And then there's M1. They have a whole event from Hate. I don't know. I guess I'm not sure where this event is at actually, but if you want to watch it, it's on Fight Network Saturday morning starting at 10, and then the main card starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on a Fight Network. And then you can watch some Glory 45 if you don't want to watch some Russian MMA at the same time. Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time on Fight Pass. And then you can watch the main card on ESPN 3. And it doesn't seem like it's in Canada because the M1 Challenge series is going to go at the same time. So usually that shit's on Fight Pass. Or sorry, Fight Network, I should say. But it's not this week, which kind of sucks. Fuck, I hate when that shit happens in Canada. Happens so often. Happens way less than it used to, but it still fucking happens too often. Where it's just like, I really wish I could watch Glory. I would watch Glory over fucking M1. The only thing I like about M1 is that it's a 6-sided ring with like a net at the bottom. Oh no, it's a fence at the bottom. It's like a hardened fence at the bottom so that they can't fall out. That's kind of interesting. But besides that, I would way much rather watch Glory 45. The kickboxing is way more entertaining to me than Russian MMA. Sometimes the Russian MMA is amazing, but for the most part, I'm not too entertained by it. Anyways, let's do this. Hey, it's actually kind of playing. Hey. That music means that we're done for this week. Thanks for tuning in. And I know I said we. It's only me, Wild Matt, this week. Okay, I know. But Sino's going to be back next week. Whoa, man, I lost myself there in a transition for a second. All right. Yes, that's right. Co-host Adam Steiner going to be back next week. I'm going to talk to him about how... what's his name? No. Anyways, I'm going to talk about how he was so wrong about that fight last week. I forget who it was. JDS versus... No, Junior Dos Santos. That's not him. JG...